we've got a reading for you about somebody who is going on a trip. We've got number 3 from the Romantic Lenormand, the ship. Obviously references some sort of travel. This could be more of a reference to spiritual awakening or some sort of important voyage you go on in an emotional way. But I think for the majority of you, this is saying that whoever this is for, we've got someone who has had to demonstrate some courage and strength to perhaps deny some short gratification opportunities and instead pursue what is really important to them. So I don't have wind chimes with me today. It's going to be a little bit sad to start the reading without those, but I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is additional information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Let's start off with the Tarot of the Cat People and see what else we've got for you. Also, a fair warning, you may have a visit from a dog if he decides that his nap has served its purpose, for those of you that like animals. All right, what else do we have? 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. So the 7 of Pentacles is about something that you have invested in, but you haven't necessarily gotten out of it what you were hoping to. So for many, this would be a reference to perhaps a job, a living situation, or a romantic connection where you feel like you haven't necessarily got the justification to continue to give to that situation. With the Ace of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups, there is an opportunity that you can pursue, but the cost of admission is to reject something in your current existence that isn't working for you, which could be why we have a reference to a ship. If you have to move somewhere, then that generally means you have to give up your current situation, right? Where you currently live. Hey Jess, how are you doing? Hello Nil, how you doing today? Jess, I don't know what that means. Are you still waking up? Hello, Terror by Nature. How you doing today? Oh, okay. That's probably why it didn't make sense to me. I'll work on that, though. We've got Rejuvenation and the 3 of Swords in the reverse. Rejuvenation is the same as Judgment. And this is talking about somebody who is feeling like because they've made a somewhat difficult decision, because they have focused on the things that would help them to avoid people who betray them or situations that have caused them to feel disappointed or left behind, we have somebody who's making a choice for themselves. So this more and more is looking like at least we have someone who's deciding to move forward after a difficult chapter, or more likely someone who's making big changes because that chapter that caused them some stress or to feel kind of stagnant is passing or is behind them. I know, I'll work on that. Wait, I feel like I know one thing because of Kill Bill, but I don't know, maybe it's too early. I thought I remembered what they say for goodbye. Nope, it's not there. Oh, that's awesome. I hope that goes well for you. I have heard of it, but I don't know too much about it. So we've got the Chariot and the Star. Another reference, of course, to some sort of movement or changing your location. The Chariot can be a reference to a car, but it can also be about fast-moving energy. And the Star is about healing. So because you are making good choices for yourself, because you are walking away from something that you don't really want to invest in anymore, you're reclaiming that energy and able to invest in other areas. So I do feel like you might be getting a little boost from the universe who's supportive. King of Cups in the reverse, and the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, so here's the problem. The King of Cups in the reverse does not have to represent a person. It could be something in your life that causes you emotional distress or frustration. But if this is a person, because many people are walking away from someone who causes this issue, this would be somebody who is constantly dealing with chaos because they do not do what they need to in order to address the problems or change their behaviors that cause that drama or that stress. So the Two of Pentacles is in the reverse because that would refer to a lack of stability. If you are best friends with somebody, or if you are dating somebody who is consistently dealing with chaos or making poor decisions or not able to control their emotional outbursts, then you too will be dealing with this Two of Pentacles in the reverse or chaos or instability because you're associated with it, right? You're allowing that into your life. So I think we have somebody who's saying this friendship, this working situation, living situation, whatever it is, it's causing stress and frustration. And I know that if I walk away from it or if I start a new chapter, then I don't have to deal with that anymore. Hello, Ethan. How are you doing? Hello, Rachel. How are you? Good morning, Johnny. No, Grant. I'm sorry. It's not a sauna. Who wears a sweatshirt in a sauna? Hello, Michael. What's up? This is the Crow Tarot. Wow, Star in the reverse and the Devil in the reverse. Okay, generally don't see these two together because they can indicate somewhat opposite things, right? The Star, if it were in the upright, would talk about somebody who's able to find the right path or heal from situations that disappointed them and still be able to take joy in life or find the right path for them. With the Devil being in the reverse, this is usually about the same thing that the Star in the upright is. So this is telling me that we have a mismatch of energy. Have you ever met somebody's significant other and been like, that is the weirdest pairing I have ever encountered? Maybe one person super negative, another person is like really jovial, and sometimes you're just kind of curious, like, how does that work? Oil and vinegar kind of thing, right? I think that's what we have here. Now, this could be talking about somebody that you've had to deal with in a work capacity. This could be someone in your family. Like I said, it could be someone you're dating, but it looks like it's oil and water. It does not mix, doesn't work out very well, right? That's funny, Grant. Hello, James. How are you doing? Valid. All right, so we've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. The Pentacles can be more closely associated with things that are tied to your money or your stability. So this could be hinting towards many of you dealing with kind of a difficult to handle work situation. Maybe it's a social construct or social community with that Three of Pentacles. It can be about like your close friends. But it's Three of Pentacles in the reverse, which tells me that maybe you felt like there wasn't much of a, I don't know, sense of team, or maybe you didn't feel like your friend was really acting like a friend. It didn't seem to be fitting the bill. For others of you, it could be a job that wasn't paying the bills, and you're wondering, why am I working all of this time if I don't actually get to pay for the stuff that I need, right? Hello, Greg. How are you doing? Hello, Steven. What's up? We've got the Two of Cups and the King of Wands. So because somebody here maybe doesn't deal with anger appropriately, or maybe there's someone who lets things pile up and get out of control before they start to deal with them, you may have looked at the situation and determined that no matter how much you put into it, or no matter how perfect you are, it's not going to get to where you were hoping it would be. Whether that's, I'm never gonna get promoted, or I'm never gonna make the money that I think I should, or this work situation doesn't really fit what I'm looking for. The living situation isn't going to accommodate if I want to have another child. Whatever it is, somebody's like, you know what? I think I need to be more realistic about what I need from this situation. Okay, so real talk, I totally forgot to set aside a little piece of paper and a pen for tips. So I'm gonna have to do the personal questions as they come in, okay, you guys? Will you be patient with me? Good morning, Lee. How are you doing? Let me pull those cards for you right now because I don't want to forget. All right, what do we have for Lee? What do we have for Lee? We have the Hermit in the reverse, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So Lee, this looks to me like there's someone here who's being a bit secretive, someone who doesn't want you to catch on to what's really going on. With the Hermit in the reverse, this makes me feel like there's some misdirection. I'm telling you I'm going here when I'm really going there, or I'm telling you that that text message was from, you know, Aunt Susie when it really wasn't. There's a secret here, somebody who's trying to cover up what's really going on. This could be your ex, this could be current partner, but I feel like this has to do with how money was spent. So that should help you clue in on who it is that's not been super honest with you. And I do also feel like your intuition is going to be telling you that this person is not being honest with you, so trust that. And I do think you're going to figure it out. All right. Thank you, Lee. Hello, Evolution. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you still need some coffee there? What a name. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? All right, let's get back to the general reading. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? So for this person who's decided that it's time to move on, they're looking at their options, realizing that it's time to be bold because whatever they're currently involved in, maybe it's a situationship you were hoping would turn into a relationship, maybe it's a living together thing and you were hoping that this person would be serious about getting married or having kids. Whatever leveling up you wanted to have happen, we've got the Four of Wands coming out in the reverse saying this person doesn't really intend on doing right by you or intend on, I don't know, allowing for your growth or acknowledging the value that you bring to the table. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So the encouragement here is do things that may be a little bit crazy from other people's perspectives, but you know where it's headed. So for example, some of you may be like, I'm just gonna up and move because I know that's where I want to be. You might think I'm crazy for doing so, but that's what I'm gonna do. For others of you, you may be pivoting to a different career, or you may be getting divorced after being with somebody for a very long time and people just don't see that coming, right? Oh, the things that I would say if YouTube didn't track it. Thanks, Rachel. Hello, Brittany. How are you doing? Hello, Outlaw. We do have Jess in live chat, so we gotta use her cards. See, I'm traveling and I still brought your cards. That's how you know that they're some of my favorite. All right, so this is called The Gamer's Ways, or A Gamer's Ways. I'm sorry, I don't have the can by me. We've got Abandoned Save. Are you sure you want to delete save file? When we're young, we take for granted the XP gained from many small battles. We flee from conflict and monotony. Sorry, it's hard to read. Alike, inevitably resulting in a level so low that it halts our ability to progress our story. Then we learn some growth requires starting over. Well, that's pretty perfect for this reading, considering we have someone who's saying, I don't think I can invest in that anymore. I need to go a different path, right? No worries, Jess. Yeah, I would agree with Rachel on that one. We've got paywall. The developers have thrown us a curveball. It might seem unfair that they would charge more for content that would improve our standing in the community, but it will be okay. Nothing breeds skill and grit like hard times. So sure, this is a little bit of a change in your plans, or maybe you were hoping this would be the last time you have to look for a job or look for a new place to live or go back to dating. But there's some determination here that if this is not what I want, then I'm not going to just like pretend that it is, right? I hope you had a good time, Salvador. Hey, Jose. How's it going? I'm gonna remove that. Hello, Marcus. How are you doing? Marcus, I don't have my little notepad, so I'm doing personal questions as they come in. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I hope you're having a wonderful day. All right, so for Marcus's child, we have a gender. What is the gender? Let me just confirm. Is this saying male? This is saying male. A little boy. I think you should definitely update us on that though, because I want to know for sure. And keep in mind, sometimes when you do the ultrasound, they're wrong, right? But yeah, I think it's a little boy. So you might have to start thinking about names. That's right. Hello, Sunny. How are you doing? Wait. Now I'm confused. You didn't want to know? Thank you, Rachel. All right, let's see what else we've got for the general reading. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. No, it just means that it got super cold. It was like almost 90 degrees on Saturday, and then yesterday, it's wild. Like half winter, half summer. Ah, okay, I got you. Hello, Richard, how you doing? So we've got the Devil and the Four of Swords. This person who was making things particularly difficult. It's not like it's just the one person you're trying to get away from. At least it doesn't feel that way. It could be for some of you. I do feel like this is a set of circumstances, right? Because of my relationship, I have to deal with that person's friend. Or because of my job, I have to deal with this stupid boss. Whatever we're dealing with, I do think that you started to acknowledge this is impacting my mood. This is impacting my, like, I don't know, for some of you, maybe even self-esteem or general direction or my ability to do things that are important to me. So why would I hang out and continue to invest in something where it doesn't feel like it's going to pay off? Hello, Divine Fire. How are you doing? Richard, just so you know, I do offer personal questions. I normally wait for those until the end, but I forgot my little notepad. And then I also offer long-form personal readings. If you'd like one of those, you can email me. Email is in the description box. Oh, hello, Nathan. I hope you have a great day, no matter what. If you'd like to come back, just remember to be respectful, please. So we've got the Empress, and the Three of Pentacles. I love this. So because you acknowledge exactly what it is that has held you back, you're able to identify what that next course of action needs to be. This isn't the job for me. This isn't the place I want to live. This isn't the relationship I want. So we pivot, we make a change. And that Three of Pentacles indicates to me that whatever your change is, you're most likely going to need to like kind of rearrange or build a new foundation for your life, which to me indicates there's going to be change with regards to stability, how you live, where you live, how you make your money, that kind of thing. I'm glad to hear it, Divine Fire. Hello, Cesar, how you doing? We've got the Tower. Isn't that a great card? So the Tower talks about significant change, and I think a lot of people spend maybe a little bit too much time being nervous about the Tower because it can talk about things that are like, you know, calamitous or really stressful. But in this case, it's clarifying the King of Wands and the Chariot. This is saying, whoever this reading is for, you acknowledge that you're empowered to make a change so you don't have to continue to deal with the things that you don't want to deal with. Now, does that mean you never have to pay a bill again or you never have to eat your vegetables? No. But if there's something that is causing you stress or is a block in your life for your success or your general happiness, then you're looking at it as, well, I could just like walk the other way. I could do something different. I could break up with this person, whatever it is, right? You know how to change it. What's up, Bumface? I hope you're having a good day. Why y'all think I'm in a sauna? No sauna. You guys ever been in a cabin or like a place with wood walls? No? All right. Hey, Carla, how are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. Or a garden shed. No. What else do we have? We have the Sun in the reverse and the Five of Pentacles. Oh, I love that card. And the Six of Cups. So instead of accepting conditions that are less than what you want, I see you acknowledging what is really important. What are the core things that help me towards my goals or make me happy that I want to make sure that I retain or I protect? And then what things are left over that I don't really need to be investing in, or where can I reclaim my energy because that's just like really not working out. This is the Voyage of the Soul. I don't think I can say always, Cesar, but generally on the readings, yes. Even when people insult me. Hello, August. How are you doing? Probably from the sunlight. Hello, Casa. How are you doing? From the Philippines? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that works, Tarot. Hello, Illuminati. How are you doing? All right, what else do we have? So we have words, writing, journal, intention, affirmations, book, and letter. So for some of you, words play a very crucial part in your purpose here, as far as perhaps songwriting, storytelling, journalism, but your words bring impact or influence in a place that it needs to happen. It could be as simple as you're the only one that calls out your boss when they're being a jerk. It could be you're the one who speaks truth to your family patriarch or matriarch when everybody else is kind of torn. Whatever it is, we've got somebody who's able to contribute to the future state that you need. Family-wise, love-wise, work-wise, it's important for you to be able to speak up, and it feels to me like the situation you're leaving behind is one where you were discouraged from speaking up or speaking out, right? If you're in a relationship where you can't talk about things being a problem or where you can't communicate your feelings, then I would argue that is not a healthy relationship, right? Hey, James, how are you doing? Yes, I do. 2, with hopefully 0 chance of problems. All right, so here's that King of Cups in the reverse. This could be your horrible boss. I hope it's not Jennifer Aniston. Maybe some of you would like that. But this is the person who is causing trouble. This is the person who's like, no, you don't deserve a raise. You're not good enough. Or this is the person who is making things difficult by being a horrible spouse, bad friend. But this is someone that doesn't really need to be influencing your life because what they do is bring negativity. So I feel like you're aware of this. You know that this is not something that you need to be investing in or prolonging. So we've got seeking, soul searching, treasures, uncover, dormant, gifts and answers, and free. Travel, explore, wild, uninhibited, and adventure. So don't get stuck in a rut. Don't feel like you have no options. Sometimes it feels that way. You got to do a little bit of due diligence, do a little research, make sure you're not just taking a leap of faith with no insight whatsoever, right? But we have somebody that feels emboldened to take a different path, to choose a different situation for themselves because the current one just ain't working. And that's the only way you improve upon the situation, right? Is taking action, speaking up, those kind of things. This is the Weird Cat Tarot. I would agree with that, Jess. Yeah, Rachel, that sounds like projection to me. Thank you, Rachel. All right, what else? We've got the Moon, the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the King of Swords. Some of you, if this is a job situation, some of you are being advised to quit instead of put in your 2 weeks notice. And I feel like if it's a message for you, you know exactly why. Because this person would just make it difficult for you. There's no need, right? Type up a nice little summary. Here's where I'm at. Here's what needs to be, told to the person who takes over my responsibilities, and good luck. For others of you, this is saying you've spent enough time trying to figure out why somebody treats you the way that they do. And when it comes down to it, at some point you have to admit that the why doesn't matter if they're not willing to change whatever the problem is. I don't care what the reason is, you're just not doing it right. So, adios. I can't help it, that makes me think of Grandma's Boy. Hello, Ramses, how are you doing? James, I think there are plenty of people that would agree with you on that one. So we've got the King of Cups in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Wands in the reverse. All right, so here's our King of Cups in the reverse again, the person who is moody or difficult, the person who stands in between you and abundance or happiness, because they're literally like guarding this 10 of Pentacles, which talks about wealth or long-term stability. This person wants to block it from you, and your basic response option here is, oh, thank you, may I have another? Or, you know what, I deserve better. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate you. And welcome to the new members. That's so awesome. So with the 8 of Wands in the reverse, look, I'm going to tell you, for some of you, this is saying it's better left unsaid. If you don't feel like this person is receptive to any kind of feedback or like a, hey, you got something in your teeth, then don't tell them. I'm a big fan of communication, but especially if this is a work situation where, or a living, maybe it's a landlord, where you know if you were to say something, it would be not dealt with or not taken seriously. And at a certain point, I don't think anyone can blame you for cutting off that communication. Communication doesn't seem to work. You don't seem to be serious about addressing the problems that are brought to your attention. So I think we'll just make plans to go a different path, right? At a certain point, when my landlord was making it clear that he wasn't interested in fixing the air conditioning or fixing the electrical, and it was just kind of like okay, I guess this is what we're dealing with. If you look at my readings from, let's see, that would be 3 years ago, I literally had like 18 fans in my apartment. Sometimes you have to just accept that's how it is. We'll deal with it for as long as we need to, but we got to make preparations for a better situation, right? How was your weekend, Laura? Ooh. So we've got the Four of Swords and the reverse, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. So again, we have a reference here to how can you fix what you need to in your life if you are constantly stressed out by somebody who is causing instability? We could even reference, jobs who like to make you work more than what you really should, whether that's because they don't pay overtime or because they're being unreasonable in what they're asking of you. Obviously, this could also apply to relationships, especially if you live together, where maybe one person feels like they have to do all the heavy lifting, or they do all of the cleaning, or they pay all the bills. There's this need for, like, show me that you understand the value that I bring to the table. Show me that you understand that what I'm doing here is important. And if you don't, then I can take my time and my energy and my effort elsewhere, right? You may hear my stomach growl, just a fair warning. All right, this is the Egyptian tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Cups, the World, and the reverse. And the Page of Swords. All right, so if you try to break up with this person, if you try to quit your job or put in your 2 weeks notice, you're probably going to hear about it. You're probably going to get some ish for it, okay? This is going to be somebody who normally is quite moody or is a bit of a jerk, who once you say that you're thinking about making changes, they're going to be like, oh, I guess I should either make you feel bad, like I'm the victim here, or I'm going to love bomb you and try to make it seem like everything can be great. You just weren't trying hard enough. You didn't tell me that things were problematic. Of course they're not over. I wouldn't fall for that. That's like, if you are looking for a new job and you get a great offer, you put in your 2 weeks notice, and the company that you had asked for a promotion or a raise from finally says, oh, you know what? We do have a little bit more money that we could give you. Oh, that's weird, because like a month ago when you told me that my performance was excellent, but you didn't want to promote me or pay me more for what I do, you could have solved the problem there. But instead, I went and looked for a job, and now they're willing to pay. If they give you that money after you've put in your 2 weeks notice, statistics show that within 1 year, you will not be working at that company anymore, either because you find a new job or because they find a way to like work you out, right? So this is just basically saying be cautious, because somebody who realizes that you want to walk away is going to try to sweeten the pot or make it seem like it's worth it for you to continue to invest when you know it's not. Hey, Matt, that's smart. Then they don't know when it's real. So we've got the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Yes, it's going to be a bit disruptive. Yes, it's going to be perhaps a bit frustrating to build a new foundation or start off. all over again, right? Applying or dating or finding a new place to live or moving because you're over it. Yeah, that's okay. But you know what? The best things in life require you to jump through a few hoops. It's okay. You'll be fine. But don't be like those thousands or, I don't know, millions of people out there who hate what's going on in their life but do nothing about it. That's lame. Not to try to like judge people, but we have a reasonable amount of control over how happy we are. And there's too many people out there that are content to blame circumstances and other people when we really do have a decent amount of control over that, right? So we have somebody who's decided, I'm not gonna stay here. I don't wanna work here. I don't wanna live with you. I don't wanna be with you, whatever it is. I know that I would be happy elsewhere. So that's where I'm gonna be. That's where I'm gonna go. Hello, John, how are you doing? Yes, Matt. Hello, Flower. How are you doing? Blamers or lamers? How's it going, Ham? So we've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is about stability. This is about the money that you should be making. You're able to carve out the existence that you should be able to have. This could also be a reference to loyalty in a relationship, right? Whoever was not doing their job or was asking too much of you is going to whine. They're going to throw a pity party for themselves. They're going to be upset. They may even make you out to be the villain. Okay. See, the problem is those kind of people who are real quick to blame everybody else, who's actually listening to them and taking them seriously? Because like I know people like that where they never take accountability, and when they tell me that somebody else is at fault, what's the first thing that I think? Okay, sure, Bobby, I believe you. You know, if this person wants to make you out to be the villain, there's probably some people who know that it wasn't your fault. I dropped a card. Hold on. So we have the Page of Cups. There are people who look at this person or this, you know, problem in your life as a bit immature. Somebody who could take some notes from you. Maybe this person hasn't been very kind to you because they're a little bit intimidated or a little bit frustrated because you might have a little bit of a better pulse on what's going on than they do, or you might be a little bit more capable than they are, and sometimes people don't know how to deal with those feelings, right? You could work on yourself, you could try to learn, you could ask someone to be your mentor, but it seems like this person instead was causing chaos or drama where they really didn't need to. This is the Kipper. All right, Ham. Yes, Flower, I do. I was just forgetful and did not bring a little notepad or a pen to write down those personal questions, so I have to do them as they come in. So slightly different in the normal format, but yes. The team builder. All right, what do we have from the Kipper? We have the Coffin, which makes sense. We're talking about endings. And then we have sudden wealth. So when you walk away from this thing that is not good enough for you or this person, you find the abundance that you were meant to be enjoying. And you get away from the person who's been content to see you not get what you want or not get paid what you deserve or not be treated the way you deserve to be treated, right? Hello, Lace, how are you doing? No, Flower, I'll do it right after, because if I had to rely on my memory, I would feel guilty. I would probably forget something. So we've got child in the reverse, occupation, and poverty in the reverse. In other words, you weren't born yesterday. You're not going to stick around out of loyalty to a situation that just isn't right for you, right? Look, sometimes people don't know how to speak up when it's not working out, and other times maybe people are a little bit too comfortable doing that. But I feel whoever I'm reading for, you're getting to a point where you feel really good about, if it's a problem, I'll speak up. If not, I will find a way to deal with it, right? So have faith. Your hard work is going to pay off. You're not going to end up in some problem where you aren't making money or you don't have a place to live or nobody loves you. You're carving out the life that makes sense for you, and sometimes that requires a little bit of editing or some adjustments, right? Hello, Galactic. How are you doing? Hello, Dana. All right, let's pull a few from, should we do the everyday? No, we'll do the cats rule the earth, and then I will probably call it after that. Is anyone else having audio issues like Rachel, or is it just Rachel's phone or computer? All right, thank you, Jess. All right, what else do we have? So the Six of Swords is a card that can refer to travel, which makes a lot of sense. We had the ship at the beginning of the reading, but this is also a card that talks about things improving, things getting easier, your life or your happiness. It improves because you're like, hey, you know what? I don't like that, so I'm gonna change it, right? Like when I drive through Burger King and I say, could you not put 10 pounds of mayo on that sandwich for me, please? You're able to find what you want. You're able to get the order you want. What is it? Your way? Yeah. So the star at the beginning was in the reverse, if you recall. And now we have it in the upright again, because you know how to correct this. You know how to find the right path, or you know how to, you know, have those difficult conversations that maybe younger you would have avoided or procrastinated on. With the Two of Wands in the reverse, you're saying, that's not for me, that's not what I want, so I'm not gonna go for it, right? Hello, Minnesota Picker, how you doing? Yep, that is a thing. It was Laura. Yeah, I think she, awesome. Thank you to Laura again. Hello, Neil, how are you doing today? So we've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ten of Cups. For many of you, what seems like a setback is actually an opportunity for you to level up or get exactly what it is you're looking for, instead of having to put up with a person or a situation that causes instability, stress, and a general, you know, F this mentality. So the Ten of Cups is about domestic bliss or happiness, feeling a sense of belonging, like you found where you need to be or where you want to be. Five of Wands in the reverse requires a little bit of introspection, a little bit of decision making, but everything is fine. You just need to make sure that you're communicating when you need to, that this isn't the right thing for me, or maybe it's about applying for new jobs or breaking up with someone, but I see you having those communications, those conversations in a respectful way and working towards what you want. So I'm proud of you. All right, I'm getting hungry, so I think I'm going to leave it there. Lace, I do often do free questions. Today may not be the day because I got a lot going on, but I hope you come back and that I can do that for you maybe tomorrow. All right.